right. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are today. A friend of mine once said every day above ground is a good day. And today is such an incredible day because I have someone that she's so much fun, someone I have so much respect for. Uh, I can go on and on about her as an entrepreneur, a mom, a wife, and everything she's been able to do on a global basis to change the world. I hear people say that I want to impact the lives of 1 million people. JB is the first person that I heard. I want to impact the lives of 1 billion people with a capital B. So please help me to welcome my amazing friend, JB Owen. JB, how are you?
Oh, thank you so much, Gordon. It's a delight to be here and right back at you. You are amazing, phenomenal, incredible, and it is a joy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure for us to have you. And, I know you are extremely busy, busy, busy. So the fact that you're here, thank you so much. I want to jump right into it, okay? Because there's so many things we can talk about. It's kind of like, where do you start with JB Owen? Because she can inspire and motivate you for the next 2 weeks. I know that for a fact. JB, I'm going to start off with today. You you not only are you a published author, what is it? It's like number 16, 17. How many books have you published now?
So we are on our 17th international best-selling compilation book, and we've done 5 solo bestsellers, international bestsellers in the last 2 years.
In the last 2 years, that's incredible. I know there are individuals who are still thinking about writing their book for the last 2 years. I remember you and I sat down through a mutual friend. We had a coffee together, and you said you were going to do this. Not only have you done it, you crushed it. So can we back up a little bit for some of my friends who are watching in 30 or 60 seconds? Who is JB Owen and why the Ignite series?
Oh, thank you so much for asking. Well, I'm just like you. I'm just like everybody. I'm a person with a dream and a vision and a desire, but I've really figured out the systems and the procedures and the tactile on how to get there. I'm an action taker, but I'm so blessed because I get to work with the most amazing people on the planet. And so, as you said, not that long ago, we were sitting down talking. And from that moment, I started a publishing house called Ignite. And it's all about igniting people's lives because we are at that place in the world that we're on the precipice of making an impact on humanity. And so I really wanted to be different than anything else in the publishing industry. I wanted it to be heart-centered and soul-centered and all about the reader and the author. And so just develop something that was really, I think, really appropriate for this time. And when COVID hit, everybody wanted to tell a story and make an impact and share a message. And so Ignite Publishing is all about that. We don't just put words on a page and pages in a book and books on a shelf. We really want to transform the reader. And so, yes, it's been a blessing to be able to do that heart-centered business that I think we're all striving towards.
Well, in terms of transforming the readers, JB, you've done that with thousands, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands around the world. And I do want to clarify that, when we mentioned you and I sat down together, I had nothing to do that. Your brilliance was already there, right? And whatever you said you were going to do, you've done it like 17 times over with all these co-authors and 5 solo books, I'm sure many to come. And today we're here to talk about your newest book. I am so excited about your newest book. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, let me share. This is our new book called Ignite the Hunger in You. And there's something really special about this book because, yes, we put author stories, but this book is co-created with the amazing #1 motivational speaker on the planet, the Mr. Les Brown. So it was a desire of mine to work with Les Brown. Again, when you and I were chatting, I shared with you my strategy. Let's make amazing compilation books. Let's work with people of influence. Let's really move the needle on people's lives. Let's show people what's possible for them. And so who is the master of possibilities? Who really talks about, stepping into your greatness? Les Brown. And so I reached out to him and said, let's do a story. Let's do a book together. And it's quite an interesting story how it unfolded. But that's the book. We launched it yesterday on Amazon and it's out all this week. You can get it. Ignite the Hunger in You.
That's incredible. You mentioned Les Brown. There's nobody better than Les Brown when it comes to stepping into your greatness, like you said. And you have taken so many people now, authors as well, and help them step in their greatness by sharing their stories. Tell this book here, Ignite the Hunger. Is it how special is that? Like you've got 16 other books with what 700 authors now. You help step into their greatness by sharing their story. How does this one feel compared to all the other ones?
Well, it's interesting because it's, a little bit like a spoiled mom with a spoiled child. Like, this one is great, and oh, this one is great, and this one is great. But this book is really, really special. I will say that we partnered with Les because what I found with so many of our authors is that they wanted to combine a speaking career. They really wanted to step into that next version of them. And so when you have a book to help with your business, and so many of your listeners are entrepreneur, a book can become a business, but you need to be able to use that book to leverage you. And that included speaking. And so, of course, I thought, who is the number one speaker on the planet? Who can we partner with? If I'm going to teach you how to be an author, who do I need to help teach you to be a speaker? And of course, Les Brown came up. Now, the neat part of the story is the books are all about ignite moments. We all have these ignite moments that transform us and change us. They kind of wake us up to the next version of ourselves. And a few years ago, I had a really powerful ignite moment with something Les Brown said on a YouTube video. He was on YouTube talking, and something he said just woke me up and really touched my life and put me on a new trajectory. And so it was like this double blessing to be able to do this project with Les. What I thought was, when you mention Les Brown's name, everyone knows him, everyone loves him, and so many people have a story behind it. And I thought, why don't we do a book around the power of Les Brown's message? Because here this man is 76 years old, been in the business for 50 years, igniting lives, on the tens and thousands, hundreds of thousands, spoke to 80,000 people in the Georgia Dome.
Incredible.
So many people have had an ignite moment with him. And if we can tell those moments, we can pull somebody forward in their own experience, I knew we had magic in the making.
That's incredible. And I can, as you're speaking, I can visualize like Les Brown. I can never do it the way he does, right? Like, you got to be hungry, right? Like Les Brown and that hunger. I was going to ask you, you mentioned earlier that the book is available right now, the Kindle version on Amazon. So if anyone's watching, my friends, JB's friends, I would say, please don't wait. Go to Amazon now. Okay, grab a copy for yourself, and maybe grab a few copies for some of your friends as well. And there's a couple of bonuses I think you mentioned. The biggest bonus that I'm thinking, JB, other than maybe you could talk about, I think you said Les Brown is a free gift, but every book that's being purchased, there's a brick that's being purchased to build a school in Cambodia. Is that right?
Yeah.
Maybe there's two questions there.
I know it's multi-layered, but I want to tell you, Gordon, one of the things that's come up for me, especially since COVID, is how do we create legacy? How do we do something beyond ourselves? How do we get a bit bigger in the sense that what we're doing impacts others? And so, yes, gratefully, I'm so thankful 17 books that we've done in the last 2 years. But I got to that place of like, how can we truly make a bigger difference? And so partnered with an organization called Classroom of Hope, and they build schools in Cambodia. And so Ignite as a company and myself decided that all the proceeds of all of our online books from now on will go towards building schools in Cambodia and other underprivileged areas for children who need literacy. So right now, when you download the book, instead of having it as a free download, we have it as a $1.99 download. And that's because every dollar goes towards buying a brick. So when you download the book, absolutely, there you see it.
Yeah.
This in Canadian prices. When you download the book, you buy 2 bricks to build the school. 2 bricks. So every dollar buys a brick.
That's absolutely incredible. And JB, for the folks who are watching right now, please go right now. Like, again, don't just delay. Go there, buy a copy. I went there and I clicked on the picture where it says Ignite Hunger. I was so surprised. There's so many authors in there. Amazing stories, and it's got your introduction, I think you're for Les Brown. So there's some, if you just want to get a taste, you guys, of Ignite the Hunger, and what JB, her passion, right? Les Brown's passion behind this book, just go there and you can see some of the samples, but more importantly, buy a couple of copies for your friends. So that's on Amazon.com, right? .ca all around the world.
All around the world, yeah, everywhere on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and all the streaming channels. You can pretty much get it, Apple, everywhere. I mean, it really is available. And of course, you can reach out to the Ignite community. Any of the authors have their signed autograph copies, and we igniteyou.life, our website, we have a copy. And I'll just show you, like, we really go out of our way to make exceptional books. We put all of our authors on these beautiful, yeah, we really showcase our authors, and they really tell amazing stories. Each author has 10 pages in the book, and their story also has action steps. So you as the reader get to not only see what they did, hear the lessons and the golden nuggets, then you get the action steps that they took. And yes, Gordon, Les's story is in this book because while we were working on this production, Les found his birth parents, and so they're passed away, but he found out who they were. So in the journey of doing this book, he had an Ignite moment of discovering who his birth parents were and meeting relatives he didn't have and finding out so much of his lineage. So that was truly an Ignite moment for him. And so these are the kinds of stories that they're just like you and I, but they show the perseverance of a person and how they move forward in their life. And I think when the readers read it, that's what they identify with. Like, that could be me. I went through that. I feel like that if they could do it, I could do it. If she got there, if he got there, I can get there. And I believe more than anything, that's what we need now in humanity, is to see the successes, the hopes, the dreams, the accomplishments of one another. No ambition shaming whatsoever. If everyone was living in the center of their possibilities and everyone was enjoying their greatness, wouldn't the world be a fantastic place? And that's what I keep striving for.
That's incredible. You know, JB, this sounds kind of silly. And when you think about Les Brown, right? Again, there's no one better than Les Brown. And you think about the legacy he's left, or he's leaving. Like, he's still a living legend when you think about it, right? The legacy he's leaving, and you mentioned being able to teach others how to speak. And many of the Ignite authors will be able to learn from Les Brown how to become a better speaker, better communicator. And you guys combine now, and this sounds kind of silly. I'm going to share a thought here. One of my mentors said every 15 years or so, a Michael Jordan-like character, company, somebody like that comes along. And often we hear people say, well, where are the females? When you think about female leadership, people think, okay, Oprah. That's the first name that comes to mind. But often you think like Les Brown, Brian Tracy, Zig Ziglar, and people say, well, where are the women? Well, folks, you're looking at her right now, in my opinion, right? JV, you are becoming that next level of leadership, right? Not just for women, for men. So I want to, again, congratulate you on that. And you truly are building a legacy and leaving a legacy here with this Ignite series. I want to ask you another question. You have a summit coming up. Are you able to talk? See if I can find that. Let me turn that up. Are you able to talk a little bit about the summit that's coming up?
Yeah, thank you so much, Gordon, for saying that about female leaders. I'll step back and say I am very honored to be one of the women I feel has been able to step forward. But I will share with you, not recently, I just Googled women making legacy because this new project of mine about igniting legacy. And you know what was sad is there wasn't anything on Google. If you Google women creating legacy, there was no one. And I thought, wow, we really do need to start awakening our daughters and the younger generation of women to know that it's possible for them. And so let's talk about the summit. We have lots and lots of women in the book, and gentlemen, of course. So December 9th, 10th, and 11th, Les and I have created and conjured up this fabulous 3-day summit with all of our authors and some other celebrities. Forbes Riley is going to be there, Manny Lopez, Dr. Finance. And the whole purpose of the summit is to pour into the listener. I love it when people are sharing and selling what they do, but at the same time, we are at a point in our lives where we just need to give. It's Christmas. It's the end of a very difficult year. So many of us just need to be poured into and receive. And so every single author on the summit is giving away free gifts, free support, free experiences for you, the listener, to enjoy. Over $10,000 worth of free stuff. Les is going to be there for 3 days, giving stuff away. The summit is 100% free for people to join. And if you'd like to upgrade for VIP, the VIP ticket gets you a free copy of the book. So we will send you an actual physical copy. I don't know, a lot of summits that are sending out copies of the book.
Again, it's a beautiful book. I mean, that's the colored prints inside. I've never seen anyone do that for their authors, JB.
Thank you. I really want people to have like that special experience, because when a book arrives, in the mail, I don't know about you, Gordon, what's your favorite book, but I have books that like I remember they were like a best friend, they were like a needle mover in my life. And so I aspire every single time that one of our books does that for one of our readers, that becomes like a lifeline and a best friend. And so the book is there. When you come to the summit, you can listen to all of the speakers, listen to Les. And if you upgrade, you can get a copy of the book. And so it really is that triple X win. We win, you win, the readers win, the listeners win.
That's amazing. Mm-hmm. I mean, you mentioned Les Brown, you mentioned Forrest Riley. Forrest, a $2.5 billion infomercial queen. I mean, there isn't anyone better than somebody like Forrest. So if someone's interested in attending, if you're watching, we're going to be posting this on our social media platforms as well. Please type the word in the comment, yes, I would like a ticket. Okay. And then I'll make sure that we get you a registration link so you can actually come and join the summit from the 9th and the 11th. And then
let me just share ignitethehungerinyou.com. You can go there. You can find out about the book. You can find out about the summit, ignitethehungerinyou.com. And, Les couldn't join us today, Gordon, but he did ask me to extend to your guests. If you download the book off of Amazon, like Gordon shared, go to Amazon, download the book. And then if you go to the secret link, mentorwithles.com, and you upload your receipt, you are entered to win free one-on-one coaching with Les himself. So Les has gone even further to really inspire people to download the book, because the book downloads are buying bricks, and we're all about buying the bricks. And so if you download the book, get the bricks, we'll buy the bricks for you in your name. You download the book, you get the bricks, and then you take your receipt to mentorwithles.com. Upload your receipt, and you'll be entered to win one-on-one coaching with Les. And here's a guy who's charges $50,000 to mentor with him. So it's a really good opportunity. It's that win-win-win-win-win.
That's incredible. So we'll make sure we'll post those links on there. JB, I was at a charity event not long ago, and there's Les Brown. And he was being auctioned off, and people were paying, like you said, $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 just to have a 1 hour session with them. So it's pretty incredible that his generosity, your generosity. So if somebody buys a copy of the book, gets the secret link, and they have a chance to win a 1 hour coaching session with them. That's incredible.
Yeah, we wanted to infuse.
Chance to win.
See how excited we are? We wanted to infuse as much as we could into the experience. Go ahead.
No, that's absolutely amazing. So that's December 9th and 11th. That's 2 days from now.
Yeah, I know. We wanted to put it all together because we know that the holidays are coming up, and with the new year, people are really stepping into their greatness and what's next for them. We know I've been saying ignite you in 2022. We know that people want to start the new year with a breath of newness and a new consciousness. And so this week has been a really blessed time. 33 amazing authors have just been pouring into the planet with their stories and with their transformation. And then Les has been all over the place talking about the book and sharing. And I'll tell you a little thing about Les and how we connected. I had sent him a proposal, and this is another good thing for your entrepreneurs and listeners. When you've got an idea, go after it. Don't let anything stop you, And so I reached out to Les and Les's team. I sent them in a proposal, and a lot of people said, oh, he'll never get it. And what about this? And what about that? You can't listen to the naysayers. And so Les did end up getting my proposal. And one day I got a phone call. It was an unlisted number. I picked up the phone, got kind of like cheeky, like, who is this? Hello. And they're like, is this JBO? And I'm like,
is this really Les Brown?
Yes, exactly. Well, they said, will you hold for Les Brown? And I was like, oh, yes, of course. Like, my attitude changed immediately. Les Brown got on the phone. JB, this is Les Brown. Love what you're doing. Love what Ignite is doing. Love your publishing house. Let's do something together. Let's create a book. Let's do the hunger in people. Yes. And in 10 minutes, we were set. We were off to the races. And of course, in perfect Les Brown fashion, he said, can you do a Facebook Live in 10 minutes? And I said, sure. He goes, I'm going on Facebook Live in 10 minutes. I don't have a guest. Would you be my, last minute guest? And I said, of course. So Les got off the phone to go do the Facebook Live, and his producer came on and said, don't say anything about the book. It's not official yet. We haven't signed the contract. Like, don't say anything on Facebook Live about the book. And I was like, okay. So I move over to the Facebook Live. Les comes on. Welcome, everybody. It's Les Brown. I'm here with JB Owen, and we're doing a book together. And he just announced it to his 1.8 million people on Facebook in that moment. And again, for your listeners, you got to be ready because you never know when you get your opportunity. And so for the next 30 minutes, Les and I were on Facebook Live talking about the book, for the very first time in front of everyone. And that is an example of how when you want something, the universe wants it for you. And so if you've got a dream and a goal and a desire, go after it and believe in it and be ready because it will unfold.
Wow, that is so powerful. That is so inspiring. What a great message. You have a dream, right? Just go after it.
Yeah, be ready because the universe is listening. So many of us have a dream and we put on the gas. And then when we get a little bit of confirmation that it's about to happen, like we take our foot off and we put on the brake because we're nervous and we're scared and we're not ready and we're not sure and we're not know if we're good enough. And so when you have that feeling of taking your foot off the gas and putting on the brake on your dream, remember what I'm sharing. Like, you got to keep your foot on the gas. You got to keep pushing and keep going because the universe wants it for you. It wants to give it to you. And so you just got to keep moving in that direction and believe and trust that idea and that passion and that desire came to you for a reason because it believes that you can execute it. You are the one to make it come to be. So keep moving in that direction.
Wow, that's so powerful. Well, JB, I just want to give a big shout out to some of the folks that are here watching. And I know we can't see everybody. Lester Bailey from Arizona, thank you so much for being here. Mr. Paul Joseph, right? Paul is actually probably somewhere in your city right now.
Hey, Paul.
Terrence, Jay, thank you so much. And again, this is my good friend JB Owen, along with 33 other authors and Les Brown. Can you imagine? Ignite the hunger. Go and grab a copy right now. Go to Amazon, buy a copy. Like, don't delay. JB and her team, they've done everything that they said they would do. They've done it. They've stepped up. They've done it. The rest is up to you now. So just go and do it. Okay, buy a copy. Buy several copies. Give it away for Christmas. Give them to your friends. And remember, every copy you buy, the Kindle version, right? Every copy you guys buy. Both.
Oh, yeah. Kindle and hard copy. And, Gordon, I just want to say for a moment, one of the big things that we do is we really care about the reader. The reader is the most important experience that they have. If you're going to buy a book, it's going to be for the reader. It's not for the author. It's not for the publishing house. It's for the reader. And so it's very important to me that the theme, the stories, everything is completely cohesive. It's a journey. There's an emotional experience as you're reading the book. And I was recently published in Forbes magazine and they called me the heart-centered publisher. And I was really honored by that because I thought, Forbes would be like hard hitting and technical. And they called me the heart-centered publisher. And I was really proud of that because our stories do speak to the heart. They do speak to the everyday reader, the you and me, all the people around the world. Doesn't matter what color your skin is, where you live, where you grew up, what your economic status is. That doesn't matter. It's the human experience. It's the hero's journey. It's that evolution between the victim and the victim or victor into like, I can do this. And so I think that speaks volume. And if we're going to talk about pandemic, I want to talk about the pandemic of greatness, the pandemic of ignitement, and the camaraderie and the connection of including all people in the human experience of their story. Everyone has a story. It deserves to be heard and seen. And I love that these authors came together, Les came together, and we all are in the, really graciously enjoying telling our stories.
Wow, that's amazing. JB, I know when you have a collection of authors, right? They're your family. It's every one of their stories is so powerful, amazing, and there isn't one that's better than the other. I'm going to kind of put you on the spot, just so the audience can get a feel for some of the stories, right? And perhaps when you get a copy of Ignite, one of the authors is going to ignite their story in you. Okay, so is there a story that stood out for you?
Yeah, great question. Well, there's a couple of stories. Glenn Lundy, super amazing individual. He wrote his story about wanting to end his life and being at
Oh,
that moment where he was really ready to let go, and how he had that ignite moment. Chad Foster tells his story of how at 23 years old, he lost his vision due to a genetic disease, and how he resented and was angry, and, it was so unfair. And then how he learned to see life differently when he couldn't see. Les says that, he developed a vision even though he lost his sight, which is so beautiful.
wow.
One of our other authors tells a story about how, she really realized that God had put together a room full of presents for her, gifts, talents, and treasures. And all she needed to do was unwrap them, to be courageous enough to open up the door, to step into the room of possibilities and unwrap all of the presents that were available to her. We have another author who was ending a marriage and moving across country and just lost everything and went into deep grief, and then stepped out of that and found such profound learning from this whole transformational process in her life. And so story after story after story, things that we can relate to and see ourselves in those people. Maybe their story isn't exactly the same as ours, but their journey and their determination and the lessons that they derive from it is something we all can truly relate to.
Wow, that's incredible. Well, JB, thank you so much for taking the time. We could have you on here for the next 2 hours, right? JB, before you go, again, for folks who are watching, please go to Amazon, grab a copy of JB's new book, along with Les Brown and from all the other authors. And remember, proceeds are going to go towards building a school for building a school in Cambodia. That's such a legacy you guys can be leaving behind. I just want to ask you 3 quick questions, put you on the spot, have some fun here, have the folks get to know JB, Owen, a little bit. Would that be okay?
Yeah, bring it on. I love it, Gordon.
All right, so the first one is kind of obvious for anybody who knows JB. What is your favorite color?
Great question. Well, I love pink. Pink is my color. I have labeled myself the pink billionaire, and for a couple of reasons. Yeah, the pink billionaire, because hey, you got to be it to become it, right? You got to step into it and become it. Muhammad Ali, Madonna. If you think about all the people that have really moved the needle in their lives, they got to step into it to become it. And pink is because for a long time, I wanted to be like a man in business. I wanted to do what the men were doing, and I really lost that feminine side of me. And so I want other women to know that
it's gonna be you. You got Peter. You got you and Peter, so you got the men.
But you can be fierce and fabulous and feminine. Right? You can have your femininity and be fabulous and fierce in business, and you don't have to surrender that. And so pink's my favorite color to remind women to, be in business, but be that feminine beauty that you are.
Wow, that's beautiful. Second question I got for you is, if you had a favorite ice cream or yogurt, what would it be?
Wow, favorite ice cream or yogurt? Well, to be honest, I do really like butter pecan. That's what my taste buds love. Right? But of course, I love any ice cream that's pink. I really love sorbet. I love desserts. I'll be honest with you. I love macaroons. I love every country I go to and travel, I'm the first person. I'm like, where's the desserts? Where's the desserts? What's in the desserts here? So I love a lot. But one interesting tidbits about JB is I don't like chocolate. So I never eat chocolate anything. I never eat anything chocolate. So I'm always going for like sweets and like creams and pastries and jams and those sorts of things. So no chocolate for JB.
All right. Pecan pie, pink pecan pie, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, last question for you, JB. This is kind of a trick question. This one's tough. Okay. I want you to think about, right now, if you could wave a magic wand and do one thing for JB, what would you do? Because I know, as a leader, right, with that servant heart, you're always thinking about, how can I help somebody else? How can I help somebody else? Forget about somebody else. If you could just do one thing for JB right now, what would you do?
Wow, that's a really interesting question. Well, I think it would be slightly around travel. I do think that if JB could do anything, it would be the ability to go and travel more. I started a TV show last year called Igniting Possibilities, and COVID has made travel with the television really difficult. So if I could just do one thing for me, it would be travel, because Gordon, as you know, when I turned 50, my 50th goal and dream was to be an everyday woman on the cover of Vogue. And so I started a journey. Yeah, to be on the cover of Vogue magazine.
Manifesting that. Who do we know out there who knows?
Right. Exactly. So I started the dream to go back. I had a childhood dream at 17 to be on the cover of Vogue magazine. And an agent told me I was too fat and I would never make it. And I didn't have the looks. And I walked out of his office and gave up on that dream. And so at 50, when my husband asked me, what do you want to do for your 50th? And I thought about Great Wall of China and parachuting and, going to Machu Picchu. And I was like, I'm actually going to go back and let go after a dream that slipped through my fingers at 17. And I'm going to turn over every stone and knock on every door to get on the cover of Vogue magazine. And so we started doing a documentary around it, and they were filming me on the road to Vogue. And then the pandemic hit. Now, if I could do anything selfishly for me, I would love to resurrect that ability to be on the cover of Vogue, because what I really want to do is change the face of beauty. And I want to show women out there that anything is beautiful. It's not just the cookie cutter idea that we have. And so selfishly, I would say I want women to know that they are beautiful and amazing, no matter what age, what color, what size. Someone told me I was too heavy. It doesn't matter. You are beautiful. And Gordon, I will say this, even though I haven't fulfilled that dream, it has become a hinge that has opened a door to so many other dreams. You know that I cycled 5,000 kilometers across Canada on my road to Vogue. Yeah, and so it just, that having a dream, like if you have a dream, even as ridiculous as you may think it is, or outrageous or extravagant, go after it, because that dream opens the door to another dream, and it knocks on the door of another dream, and it introduces you to another person. And you got to be a dream thinker. You got to think big. You got to think bold. You got to go after what it is you want, because when the universe knows you're serious and you're doing what it takes to get there, it presents all kinds of other opportunities to you. So I will get to Vogue. It'll happen. It may not happen on my timeline, the universe's timeline. So I'm just trusting.
You know how it's funny, no pun intended, how you cycled back to your dreams, to helping other people, feel that they too are amazing, important, they can fulfill their dreams. That's absolutely what I love about you, JB. Well, folks, everyone, thank you so much for. And by the way, JB, whoever told you age 17, your agent, that you weren't good enough, is probably related to the same coach who told Michael Jordan he was never good enough, or who cut him from the high school basketball team. So
right. And we all have one of those in our lives. We all have somebody who said, you'll never make it. It's not possible. You're not good enough. And I think you're right. We should put all of them on an island.
Put them all on an island, right?
A copy of this book. Get less
naysayers. Like how to ignite the naysayers and get them to greatness.
Exactly.
Wow, that's so amazing. Well, once again, thank you so much for joining me today. For our folks who are watching, please go grab a copy of the book today on Amazon. JB, before you go, any final thoughts?
May I just share how amazing you are, how inspiring and loving and caring, what a great cheerleader you are. I just want to thank you for just taking me under your wing and supporting me and pushing me forward, and always being there, always being at the end of a text, always being there at the end of a phone call. I just want to say what you're doing is phenomenal. The person you are, the igniting that you do in the world, it is really, really beautiful. And I am so honored that you are a friend of mine. So thank you for being you.
Well, thank you so much. Likewise, JB, the feeling's mutual, and love to have you come back with us for another show.
You got it. I'll be back.
Thank you. And for those folks who are watching, thank you so much for being here. And until the next time, just have an amazing, amazing day.
Blessings.